Let me introduce you guys to Promo. Promo is a consumer fintech company currently connecting businesses and promoters. So let me introduce you guys to Sarah, John, and Maya. Sarah's a 19-year-old college student. She's a marketing major. She likes to hang out with her friends on weekends, and she's a waitress. We got John. He's 27 years old. He's a corporate lawyer, lives in New York City. And then we got Maya. Maya's 30 years old. She's a nurse. She's got a dog. He's a mutt named Sushi. And she's going to Cabo with her friends in a month for her best friend's bachelorette party. Now, what do Sarah, John, and Maya all have in common? Well, they're all consumers, and they have a social media account. Sarah, John, and Maya also suffer the same problem, that they consume, but get no monetary value in exchange. So what's the solution? The solution is Promo. We believe right now that businesses and promoters are facing two problems. Businesses are not capitalizing on the local influence of consumers like Sarah, John, and Maya, and as third-party cookies are gone away with, they're going to lose that traction and they're going to have to adapt. Promoters are missing out on the power of their local influence and not capitalizing on what we call digital real estate, whether it's 200 followers, 500 followers, 1,000 followers, 500,000 followers. That is digital real estate each one of us has who has a social media account, and we need to capitalize on it. The solution is Promo. Currently, Promo's MVP, if you Google usepromo.io, it's a fully functioning MVP that has its core functionality built into it. The goal of Promo is basically to connect these businesses and these promoters, allowing people like Sarah the opportunity to easily onboard onto the product, sign up, and become discoverable. Sarah signs up on the product. She sets a rate, a price for her services, whether it's $10, $50, $100, and allowing the business to easily discover them and purchase their services similar to how you would purchase a product on Amazon. Now that's the goal. Make it easy to purchase a local influencer's services. Although we're excited about our MVP in the massive market of 6.2 million in the marketing industry and advertising industry, our aspirations are far greater. Our idea has been validated by current competitors like Collabster, SwayPay, Upfluence, Heapsy, and Influence. They're all doing what our MVP currently does. But our aspirations, like I said, are far greater. So currently, our market adoption for the MVP is sixfold. We're going after influencers and industries. Industries such as fashion and apparel, makeup and beauty, fitness and fashion and apparel, makeup and beauty, fitness, and foods. And as far as the influencers go, we're targeting the fourfold influencers from 1,000 to 5,000 followers, 5,000 to 10,000 followers, 15,000 to 50,000 followers, and 50,000 to 1 million followers. Once we split test and A/B test where our traction is coming from, we're going to launch a mass outreach campaign to target these influencers and onboard them onto the platform. But our goals are greater than that because we are trying to raise $600,000 in exchange for 10% equity. Once we get this money, we have features in the pipeline that have not been built by any single company that is operating right now. The first feature is a preloaded platform. So preloaded content, each and every single one of us sitting in this audience today has hundreds of pictures in what we call the purgatory of your iPhone photos. Those pictures are worth money to businesses. They're worth money to the brands and the clothing companies that you're wearing. They're worth money to the local restaurants that you visit and take pictures with your friends in, and they're just sitting in your phone not being capitalized on. Businesses can now, once we launch this feature, filter through the content based on their tags and easily purchase these photos as stock images to use on their social media platforms. Now, businesses no longer need to reach out to the influencer, ask them to do this, ask them to do that. It's as simple as purchasing a product on Amazon. The second feature we have in the pipeline, which is our crown jewel, is a checkout with promo feature. So just like you purchase a product online and there's the offer to purchase something with Klarna or Affirm with 4 separate payments, we're going to offer a checkout with promo feature that allows you to check out, get 20% off, $20 cash back, whatever the business decides to offer, in exchange for a promotional post on social media. All you need to do is tag the company and that money will be in your wallet. The third feature that we're building and working on is a GPS geolocation-based feature where you walk into Chipotle, you're a member of Promo, you get a ping on your phone and it says, hey, 10% off your next purchase on your burrito if you tag us on social media right now. We have other features in store, but those are the 4 core features we're looking to build and think through once we raise this capital. And that's basically it. The team right now is me, Shantanu, Sajal, my co-founders, and 11 other employees of ours. I am a full-time corporate restructuring lawyer, and I am also the co-founder of Little Planet. Little Planet is a design agency that Shantanu and Sajal and I founded because it was too expensive to build an app on our own. So we decided, hey, let's start doing logos. Let's start building websites to bootstrap our own company, and we did. We built out this core MVP that you're looking at. We built web development apps, the whole 9, and we did that simply so we could fund and bootstrap our company up until this point. Shantanu has 8 years of product and design experience. He's also the co-founder of Little Planet, and Sajal has 6 years of product development experience at an MNC. He's got 6 years of experience leading management and agile teams, and that's it. Our current business model is 5% on each transaction that occurs B2C, 20% on preloaded content, and then we will be charging monthly amounts for our additional features. Thanks. So that was my first pitch ever, as you know. We just launched the beta in September. So we're working on getting traction and working on thinking through the thing. But, no one wants to hear their baby's ugly. But, feel free to tell me my baby's ugly. That's fine. We're under the impression that if you wait to launch your product until it's perfect, you've launched too late. So we just want to get out here. And I need practice on my pitch and work through what we're going to be pitching and talking about. So.
Okay, well, then don't waste our time talking. But I'll tell you, I tell all entrepreneurs, your baby is ugly. But it's not ugly for the reasons you think.
Okay.
I'm in features overload. I feel like you're testing everything under the sun for everybody under the sun.
Okay.
So you've got your, like this.
Yeah.
And then all of your, it looks like you've got a deep competitor bench. And so you're like, we're testing all the stuff they're doing, but I'm going to pile on all these features in advance.
Yeah.
So unless you've got $11 billion to build prototypes, you might want to figure out where you want to focus.
Okay.
And for whom. Otherwise, you're going to either have trouble in your data gathering and really teasing out what people want,
Yeah.
which is going to steer you off course.
Yeah.
So I think I get the gist of it, but there are so many things I could have pulled on. What type of influencer are you really targeting? Mm-hmm. If I'm a business owner, what kind of influencer am I looking for? What kind of local voice am I looking for? What am I actually paying for? What am I getting? What products? You chose 5 different, cutting across 5 industries. If you're going to test this, what are you testing? There are too many variables. My background's in clinical science, so I can pull on way too many variables. I don't know what I'm testing. Okay. You have I would love to see how you structure your testing. Mm-hmm. So A/B testing, yeah. You turn off A, you see B, you turn off B, you see A. Yeah. You've got A through Z. Okay. So I would say when you're gauging your traction, I see a lot of features. They all might be great. Mm-hmm. How are you going to build upward?
Right.
Are you the technical person?
No.
Does your technical person like you right now?
No, he's not happy with us, but so I introduced the 6 features. The only feature we have working right now is the core functionality you see on the website.
So start there. If I were you, I'd do a little, and I don't know how much background work you did on what features do people not like in the current things that are available. Because that might actually save you a ton of time in not rebuilding that. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a deep bench of competitors, that's a huge competitive advantage because you know what people might or might not like. Okay. That's your differentiator, right? So maybe you jump to your new features and that's what people are paying for. If you're telling me you have a problem identified, solve that problem. Don't test the thing that's already working in the market because you already know that works in the market, right? Yeah. So, I asked if your tech person likes you because usually when you're like, yeah, test that, but we want to go here. Mm-hmm. They hear that and they're just like, ugh, this guy. And you're piling on features. Oh, but we want to do this and we want to do this. So I'd love to see you pare it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. Decide which sides of which businesses you're going to play in, exactly what the product is, and then test that. but figure out what your differentiator is, because it was hard for me to navigate it, and I'm a business owner that uses influencers to sell our products, and I wasn't exactly sure how I would leverage you. I think I might, but I wasn't exactly sure how I'd pull that trigger.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
I'll pause there.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely pile on. From a structure point of view, I mean, you were flicking slides. I couldn't even read the slides fast enough, which half as many slides for this time chunk. Like maybe your ultimate presentation, requires all those slides, but I couldn't even grok them. So you got to slow down a little bit. Yeah, focus. You talk about local influence, but you're talking about global, just boil the ocean type stuff. It's I would pick, you named off 4 different categories of influencers, really based on how many. Pick one to test. I love that you said we're going to test. Make an educated bet. I love Chantel's. Look at what everybody else is doing. See what doesn't work, and you're like, I'm going to tackle that problem, or what does work, and I'm going to make it even better, and make a bet, and then test. Yeah, just focus. I mean, your enemy is trying to be everything to everybody, because you'll be nothing to be nothing to nobody. I don't know. Yeah, it's like overall, it's great energy. You said it's your first time pitching, and I wouldn't have assumed that. You seem to know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's again, you got to slow down. You know what I mean? It's like you're like these competitors like these. Next slide. These blah 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 blah. I was just like, yeah. Overall, I like where you're going.
Okay. I'll be back with a refined idea. Yeah.
Any other questions from the audience? Where? Okay.
Those competitors today, what's the smallest market that people are doing this in? Is there a way to just focus on the extremely small, long tail?
Meaning, what's the smallest market of influencer, quote unquote?
Like town. I imagine your average town of 1,000 people has businesses, but maybe don't have any influencers.
Yeah, so we're targeting Greenville, North Carolina right now, just because. Yeah. And there's local businesses there, and that's like where we're trying to hyper focus, and we're gonna have an event there, like a raffle to onboard people and onboard businesses.
You got to say that. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes me feel way better.
Yes. Yes.
Got it. Good to know.
I was just going to ask, is it, so it's like collab, right? That's the sort of concept?
The concept is like collab, but our ultimate goal is to turn every single person who purchases a product into a source of influence for the business that's selling them the product.
The only reason I brought it up is because collab, which I only learned about after posting to my daughter, and somebody said collab. I'm like, what the hell is collab? Indicates that there is a problem, right? They are manually reaching out to collab with Instagram influencers, and the fact that they have to do that indicates that there is not something solid, even if there's competitors out there. So I would sort of wrap it up, and if you are talking to people that know social media, obviously mention collab. Now, most people are not necessarily going to know what that is, but.
Yeah, we've spoken to marketing agencies, and they're like, well, the problem is there's a disconnect where businesses are reaching out to the influencers and they're getting lost in the DMs. So that's why we built the product that streamlines that process.
I think there might be one other slight problem to solve, and that's a lot of people like me aren't interested in being influencers with the pictures that I take in my phone, etc. So the other side of your market might have a weak spot where a lot of people are privacy focused these days, and you're suggesting a platform that lets everybody be an influencer, but I don't think a lot of people that are influencers want to be influencers anymore. They're stuck in it for some people. So that might be a problem that you're solving for the influencers. They don't like all the work it takes to be an influencer anymore. because it's a lot of work to be an influencer. And I see some people that used to have huge followings, and the stuff they post now is struggling because it's just so old or done, right? But they're still churning it out.
Yeah.
So that might be a slightly different problem to solve, the problem for the influencer instead of the problem for the company.
I hate the word influencer because it's like it's not necessarily the people we're going after. We're going after consumers, but we have to use the word influencer to kind of like put it into perspective. And that could just be messaging there that maybe I'd just do away with the word influencer and just call them consumers.
I think you've got several problems identified in this market. It's picking one or which one that you feel the most visceral. And I would say several of the features that you call future features don't have to be future. They could be your present product. I don't think you have to feel boxed in or compelled to solve the same problems as a base platform. You don't have to build this standard thing, then add on your features. Your feature could be your product. So I would say just think about what you're building and what you're solving for as the starting point, because you've got to have a reason to pull people in. So think about your problem solution and challenge the front end statements, and that might flesh out some of your build on the back end, or even some of your testing as to why people want to do some of the things you're talking about, including maybe it's people want to be highlighted. I know people who would die for likes. I know some people who want to hide from likes. So choose your audience, right? Choose the problem and test that. But either way, I think you've got so many baked into there. You've got a lot of potential. So also, I would say you might want to look at your pricing. I think those guys from Dual Boot back there probably looked at $600K and was like, not for all those features. So you might want to think about your build out a little bit.
I've got an entire tech team at my disposal, though.
Unless you're paying them $0, I was like, woo, that's some slim budgeting there. So
India is luckily my partners are in India.
So yeah, we are going to have to wrap it up.
Thank you